Good gracious greetings, it's Chappers.
And I am the captain, with proof, if it was ever needed, that size isn't everything. Except when you're talking about speakers, in which case it is. But we'll come on to that later.
Yes, what have we got here, Lee?
Well, they're not new. Well, they're sort of new, but not totally new. So the wonderful people at Hotone, as we now refer to, as they're no longer Hotone.
They're not Hotone.
Well, I don't know. Hotone, whatever you want to do. They, for a while now, 2 or 3 years now, maybe more, have been making these little nano amplifiers called the Legacy amplifiers. Camera number 1. They are 5 watt, solid state, little ditty, fit in your pocket kind of amplifiers with effects loops, line outputs, headphone sockets, auxiliary inputs, a speaker output that is able to detect the impedance of your speaker. And they fit, as Rob is ably demonstrating there,
In the palm of your tiny pawed hand.
Yes, of an adult hand, basically. And as I suspect you probably just heard, can sound pretty fat.
They absolutely rock, and it was a bit of a surprise. I was expecting them to, quite frankly, suck.
Yes, well, they look like they should, don't they, in fairness?
Certainly look like they should shuck. Should shuck?
Should shuck. He was the guitar player in Pink Floyd before
I was thinking
Dave Gilmour took
about
over.
one of the tracks from Black Chuck, from a band, don't worry. These are replicating 5 of the finest amplifiers of all time and space, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, so if you're familiar with these...
We should introduce your signature model.
Absolutely, the Captain Sunset. Thank you, Hotone, for making me my own amp. Not many people know that I'm sometimes referred to as Captain Sunset. I'll think of a gag about
after
why
hours.
shortly. Yeah. Right.
Totally off track.
So I'm pretty sure, like years and years ago, Chappers and I did a video on some of the earlier versions of these.
I think
like
it might have
the
been a
Purple
Christmas
Wind.
special.
Do you remember the Purple Wind?
Yeah, I do.
And the British Invasion. So there are other ones of these, but the 5 new ones are, and I don't know legally or what. All I'm going to tell you is what Hotone say inspired these amps. Whether they sound anything like them or not is for you to decide. But the Eagle's Heart is some sort of Engel. The Captain Sunset is some sort of Soldano, I think an SLO. The Siva Boogie isn't a boogie, it's a Bogner Shiva. The one on the blue one is the 5150, and the green one, we think that perhaps Friedman have got it, we think that Hotone have got it wrong, because one would assume that Freeman B would be a Friedman. It's a great amp.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to model it? But the manual says well-known boutique British company, and the only green British amp that we can
Matt
think
amp.
of is Matt amp,
Yeah.
which, to be
Why
honest with you,
Freeman?
you wouldn't really have said was a...
It's not a high gain.
No, so
amp
we
company.
think potentially the Hotone manual or website, sorry, not the manual, the website is potentially wrong on the frame. So you decide what
But
that
it's
sounds
fine
like.
for them to attribute Friedman to the great British company.
Now,
It's a shuck.
of course,
Country.
in the world of ridiculous that Rob and I like to inhabit, we've taken these little amplifiers that'll cost you something like £90 each. Comes with a 18-volt power supply that it runs off of. We've taken one of these and decided to plug them into a cabinet here that costs about £700. The beautiful green back-loaded Marshall 1960 AX. Or I'm using a 212 cream back-loaded cabinet, which costs about £600. So either way...
But it's worth saying,
ridiculous.
not in order to polish a turd, just purely because we wanted to hear them loud in the room and just get some good vibes and jam.
That's not the only reason we chose these cabs.
One of the reasons.
Shall I show them the other reason why
Show
we
them
showed
the
this
other
cab?
reason, Lee.
Right, Rob, you are currently plugged into this amazing 412.
Yep.
So I'm going to unplug you from this
Oh,
amazing 412. Give me the guitar.
Okay.
I'm going to unplug you from the amazing 412 and put you in the slightly less...
More affordable
Yes,
Hotone.
well, I think we
1x4.
need a new word for shaffordable, as it's utterly shaffordable. So this is £49, no idea what size of speaker it's got in there, can't be more than 4 or 5 inch speaker. And hey, can get you tones like this. Oh, if we turn the amp on, be even... And if we turn the reverb and delay pedals on, which also cost more than the amplifier.
They're on. If I
off.
turn them off.
So, because we're being a little... So this, you are now hearing
the
just
bedrock raw
this
tone.
and this. There we go. Perhaps utterly affordable was unfair.
If for a second somebody thought you could turn the gain down, Rob, well, you can't really. What happens is it's just quieter but with the same gain, or louder with the same gain.
Let me demonstrate for the...
Ready?
Wow. I mean, if I hadn't been told that was a 5150 clone, I'd have totally never got that ever. No, let's see. If we go as quiet as possible, I mean, what if somebody just wanted to noodle around?
With all the gains still there.
You know, put your reverb pedal back in. I don't know if you can even... I mean, that's actually probably the quietest thing I think we've ever had in this room.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it sounds actually at that kind of volume.
Good.
It's okay. So look, but that's no fun. I'm plugging ourselves back into the expensive cabs.
Do it.
Now, what we will do throughout the rest of this video, through this amazing big Marshall cabinet, is demonstrate what the 5 amps sound like. So, actually, just turn your delay off, would you, Rob? Just leave the reverb on. Oh, excellent. You need longer legs.
Yeah, I do.
So, let's go through them
Ready?
like 30 seconds at a time or something.
Okay.
So the first one here is the Vulcan 5.0, aka 5150 clone. Need more volume. Okay, the next one is the uncertainly named, possibly Friedman clone, but maybe not. Actually, we've not heard this one yet, so it might be.
I'm excited, Lee.
Maybe it'll sound like a Friedman.
Hold
maybe
that
it'll
one.
sound like
Hold
a
it down.
Matt amp. They're so diddy. Diddy.
Ooh.
Definitely not a Matt amp clone.
No. It's my favourite one so far, Lee.
Cool. Well,
I really like that one.
We'll plug back into that shortly. The this gold one isn't terribly gainy. So what you've been hearing so far are the amps with no sort of distortion pedals in the front of them. But Rob may decide to kick in some... So this is the gainiest this amp goes. He says, looking for the gain. Yeah, that's the gainiest it goes.
If I had a tube screamer. Angry Charlie.
sounds good with
clean, to
pedals.
be honest.
Yeah, it sounded good with pedals, didn't it? This one is allegedly an Engel. Don't know which Engel. I mean, something famous, I suppose, like a Powerball or what's it called at the front? Eagle something.
Eagle's Heart.
Eagle's Heart. No pedals.
No pedals.
No pedals. Darker, that one, isn't it? Darker.
Yeah.
Although, let's be honest with you, they're not massively different sounding, each one of these, are they? So, and finally, the Captain Sunset, which was, what, the Soldano, I think, wasn't it? Allegedly. Defamation of every single good amp brand ever.
It's what's interesting is how difficult it is to play with so much gain.
Right.
It's unreal how much gain there is available.
Rob's been kidnapped and replaced by an alien here.
Like, is there...
Right, okay, that's
crank it.
minimum.
They're really fun.
It's amazing, isn't it?
My favourite of all of them is this one.
Okay, well, I'll plug you back into that one.
It's so cool for playing shreddy lead rubbish.
I'm going to go with the one with the least gain on it and perhaps use a pedal. I think, therefore I am. I think this really is quite an interesting lesson. And people spend a lot of money on amplifiers and a lot of focus, and they talk about amp tech all the time, and they talk about, you know, different amp designers and everything like that. And then speakers are often seen as like an afterthought. Oh yeah, I bought this like £2,000 head. It's okay, I've got a cab at home, I'll plug it into that sort of thing. And I think if anything, when we do these videos, it kind of goes to show that you can take a £90 amplifier and put it into a good speaker and it sounds amazing, and put it into a cheap, crappy speaker and it sounds cheap and crappy. So lesson for all you guitar players out there, I think, is, you know, have a look at what speaker you're plugged into.
This is an extreme version of cheap and crappy versus really good.
Yes, you're totally right. We shall jam out for your annoyance and delight and everything. These have been the Hotone Nano Legacy or something series or other. I will put links to them all in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. It has been our pleasure to entertain you for this short 20 minutes or so.
And if you've got, what is it, 80 quid, 90 quid?
Something like that, 89 or
you could do worse
like
than buy one of these.
Ah, man, what could you? I mean, yes, we should note that every single pedal that we're using is dearer than one of these. The cabs are a hell of a lot dearer than one of these.
Yeah.
And the guitars are massively more expensive than these as well. So there you go, make what you will. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.